Mostly Sports.
Welcome to Mostly Sports. I'm Mark Titus. He's Brandon Walker. Today is Wednesday?
Yep.
Is that correct?
Correct.
September 27th? And what do we want to talk about, Brandon?
College football.
Why do you hit the table every time? This is getting a little concerning. And also, I think I take full responsibility for everything I say and do on this show, but also it's your fault because I've noticed I've been getting a little more aggressive on this show. My mother called me last night and was like, "What did Joe Namath ever do to you?" And I was like, "Mom, I don't know. I just like anytime I get in a room with Brandon Walker,
Can I point something out?
I just start getting like I want to pound tables and yell
Can
and
I
scream
point something
and stuff.
out?
What?
You're complaining about you being too aggressive, and you haven't let me talk yet.
Because you started. Before you even said a word, you banged the table again. That's what I'm saying. You set the first sound people hear.
I like to hit things. College football ratings are way up, and it's not just Dion. What's going on?
College football is very good. Parity exists.
Yep.
I think
Three reasons. Number one, Dion's a big deal. That helps. There's no reason that Colorado should be highly rated.
you just want to play. You just flip flop on Deion. I love this. I love what you're doing here. Is that
Number two,
when the entire country was like all about Deion Sanders and drinking the Deion Kool-Aid, Brandon was like, "Let's pump the fucking brakes. We don't have to talk about him that much." And then the second they get stomped at Oregon, everyone jumps off the Deion train. Brandon's like, "Deion Sanders, good for college football. We love this."
Number two, it's finally a national – this is a bigger deal. It's finally a national game again. For the first time in a while, we're not just waiting for Alabama, Georgia, or LSU to choke everybody out at the end.
Yep.
They've come down to the pack, and now on the West Coast you have three legitimate – maybe more than three – legitimate national title contenders, Washington, USC, Washington, USC, and Oregon, and then maybe a couple more. And then you have Texas is up, Notre Dame is up, Florida State is up. Like all these big-time programs with big-time fan bases are up, resulting in 10% ratings increase across the board.
I also think that all the talk of how it's dying actually helped. I think all of the realignment, the NIL, basically, I do think spending all offseason talking about how this sport is going to die.
Right.
And it still might. I don't know.
Well, here's a list of things that
we're
going
to die, but it still might end up being like we might look up in 10 years and be like, yeah, this product fucking stinks. But I do think talking about all this stuff did generate interest in it.
Transfer portal was going to kill college football.
Yeah.
NIL going to kill college football. And realignment going to kill college football. Playoff expansion might kill college football.
Right.
College football is growing exponentially right now.
Hold on.
Yep.
Devil's advocate.
Why does the devil even need an advocate?
That's a good point.
He's very powerful.
Very powerful man. He could do it himself.
Yeah. So I'm not sure why he needs an advocate.
He doesn't need me. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. Let's just move on. The devil can make his own argument. He doesn't need me for this.
Yeah. So I think it's a very exciting time in the fact that the sport feels like it has grown again outside of just the Southeast bubble, which it kind of contracted into for a while.
I want to say something other. What's another way to say it other than devil's advocate?
On the contrary.
On the contrary.
Good.
Here's something to think about. Is there a world where the TV ratings do explode, the interest in the sport does explode, and yet all the people that said the sport is, I don't know if dying is the right word, that seems a little aggressive, but the sport is going away from what made it so fun in the first place, they are still correct. And what I'm saying here, Brandon, is like, I don't know, a good parallel might be like the Hollywood situation where every movie is a Marvel movie, and the Hollywood executives might say, you all keep telling us that the movies stink, but how come every Marvel movie makes $1.5 billion? And then there are people that are like, I want Dumb and Dumber. Why aren't we making more Dumb and Dumber?
Well, the truth is, as these big programs get bigger and the marquee games get bigger, and the conferences kind of shift everybody to where there's huge games where USC and Michigan, and ultimately that's all that's going to matter. And the smaller teams like the Mississippi States of the world are going to get squeezed out a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
And that's going to make college football probably a worse product all the way through, but maybe a better TV product.
Yeah.
So it is. Are your headphones? What's going on? Are your headphones okay?
My headphones are a little weird.
Yeah.
My headphones are a little weird.
I'm a little scratchy.
A little weird.
A little scratchy.
But we can persevere, right?
Okay, we can try.
I don't know. I can.
I'm a little scratchy in my headphones.
Let's.
Sounds fine to me. It does sound
scratchy.
Not scratchy to me. Like things were changed though.
Who else uses? Does someone else use the studio?
Nobody better use the studio after we leave.
What? No. The Chicago guys use this? What the fuck?
Not only do they use it, they use it for their office. I think they go to the bathroom in here.
Yeah, I think the parity is the real issue, or not the issue, the real reason I should say. I think the fact that the West Coast is so good at football.
West Coast got good fast too.
The Pac-12. I do think there's an element of that. I think that if you're a casual fan of this sport, and I told you all offseason that the Pac-12 is dead, and every one of these teams is leaving the Pac-12, and this is the last year of Pac-12 football, and then you look up 2 or 3 weeks into the season, and half the Pac-12 is ranked, and all the Heisman contenders are coming from the Pac-12. And Deion's in the Pac-12, which you say he doesn't matter, but, I think casual fans do care about
I think I just said just moments ago that he mattered.
Yeah.
And you made a big deal of it when I said that.
I think there's something.
You know how you get. Tell him, Mom. Was he always like this? Was he always angry at the whole world?
Only when I met you.
Yeah.
That's when it all started.
It all went downhill quick.
I was chill, man, until Brandon Walker entered my life. I think that might be the biggest culprit. I think it might be West Coast, because that was.
Well, there's no culprit. It's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Culprit and implies it's a bad thing. No, you're right. It's the West Coast. The West Coast is back in football. And now I think the good thing is now the Pac-12 is the best it's been in 2 decades. We're killing that motherfucker.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that if the Pac-12 would have just waited 3 weeks,
right? They would have seen that they
would actually have the best TV deal.
Yeah.
They would have more money than the SEC and Big Ten combined based on this.
No, they just pieced out. So let's get out of here. They have the most exciting quarterbacks, the most exciting offenses. They are the most exciting conference in football this year.
Yeah.
And they waited until they were done to do that. It's unbelievable. It's just a crazy. Whoever was in charge of the Pac-12 over the last 5 years should be in prison, federal prison. And I'm not talking about county jail. I'm talking about prison.
Larry Scott?
Watch your ass prison. That's what I'm talking about.
Larry Scott. He was the guy, right? And
then there's another guy.
Kliavkoff.
George Kliavkoff.
Larry Scott was the guy that when he took over, he was like, his whole attitude was like, we care about all the non-revenue sports. And then he looked up after his tenure and was like, these non-revenue sports
don't matter at all.
They make no revenue.
Right.
What the fuck's going on here?
Where's the revenue?
How did this happen?
Do you think the non-revenue sports in those conferences are gonna kind of fall off? Like if you're playing on a West Coast team, and you have to go play like Rutgers or something. Like wouldn't you just go play?
I don't know. Those hippy dippy sports are still going to be played by hippy dippy people back in hippy dippy states.
Okay, hang on a second.
Because wouldn't you just go to a conference where you don't have to travel 3,000 miles every Wednesday?
But I think these elitist type schools like Stanford and Cal, I think those places will always care a lot about the sports no one else cares. They'll always care a lot about water polo.
Well, they don't care. They only care about them because that's where they compete in. That's what they can win in, right?
Yeah.
People don't care about a sport unless they can win in it.
I think they care about them because they were like popular sports in the 1800s, and then they've just like stuck with that.
But California didn't even hardly exist in the 1800s.
That's true.
Stanford was going to get rid of wrestling 1 year after having an individual national champion in wrestling.
Did they end up not getting rid of it?
I think that they somehow sort of saved it.
I think Kyle Bauer saved it.
Yeah. Or Big Cat, yeah.
No.
Galaxy brain take here, maybe.
Yeah.
The death of the Pac-12 might hurt the United States in the Olympics moving forward. Because if all these non-revenue sports, you have a conference, for all of its flaws, the Pac-12 sucked at men's basketball, sucked at football, but when you turn on the Olympics, like all these swimmers and divers and fucking name some other Olympic sport.
Swimmers, divers, and divers
water
and swimmers.
polo players, and
synchronized
swimmers. They were all coming from these Pac-12 schools,
or Florida. A lot of them come from Florida.
Yeah, and if the Pac-12 schools. If what Ebo's saying, if you're like a synchronized swimmer, and suddenly the United States isn't pumping out synchronized swimmers as well as we were.
You're saying this is the best thing that could have happened to Germany.
China is happy. China is smiling.
Mm-hmm. Do you think China might have had a hand in this?
Whoa. That's
TikTok.
Did China have a hand in breaking up the Pac-12?
Did China create TikTok to destroy the Pac-12, to get a generation of kids hooked on shaking their ass in 6-second increments instead of focusing on synchronized swimming, instead of focusing on what matters most? so that they could beat us in the Olympics.
You could say that TikTok is steering viewers' attention away from watching those non-revenue sports, and therefore
Great
they're making
point.
less money.
If TikTok didn't exist, more people would be watching women's diving, but they're not because of TikTok. And this is all the Chinese doing this. So we would lose the Olympics. So in 10 years, we will only be good at football and basketball, but football's not even in the Olympics.
Our conclusion is
China.
But our the way we got there is college football ratings are up
Because of China.
because of Dion and other things, and then the Pac-12 is disbanding despite being very good. And the Pac-12 is disbanding because of China.
Because of China.
Yeah,
And like a lot of things I say,
fucking China, man.
like a lot of things I say on the show, it might sound crazy, but if it does sound crazy to you, simply prove me wrong. That's all I'm asking. If you prove me wrong, I will walk it back. I will say, never mind, I was wrong. But until someone proves me wrong, I'm going to continue to think that China is the reason college football is popular. It's China.
I don't see a problem with it, frankly.
It's China. Speaking of college football, we talked about this briefly in one of the shows.
Yeah,
I think it was Monday after the Notre Dame Ohio State game.
sure, yeah.
And I thought about it more. We just kind of glossed over it. I think Notre Dame is actually done. Because
I've seen this take a lot.
I threw this out there. You said no. We didn't really flesh it out, and then we moved on. I wanted to read some schedules. You're like, don't do that.
I never said that.
Well, I think you're figuring out that reading schedules is the number one reason people tune into the show. And
Then read the schedule.
You're a little jealous that
Mark
I'm getting more
Titus,
shine
you
than
dumb bitch. All right. Do you think they're done?
I think. Well, I'm not saying this to twist the knife on Notre Dame. I think that your belief that everything works itself out is not the correct way to look at things.
Absolutely the correct way to look at things. Absolutely. 2 years ago, maybe 3, I don't remember. 2 years. Is it 2 years ago? 2 years ago when Cincinnati made the playoff, right? Yes, 2 years ago.
2021.
They were like number 7 in the original playoff poll, and everybody said, oh, my God, they'll never make it, they'll never make it, they'll never make it. It's stacked against them. I said, hey, wait a minute. Just give it time. It'll shake out. It shook out. Last year, Ohio State loses to Michigan. Oh, my God, it's over. Wait, it'll shake out.
Nobody said
It
okay.
always
Okay,
shakes out.
that was
out.
the end of the season when Ohio State lost to
Last
Michigan. So that's a
season-
completely different conversation.
Last season, TCU lost their conference championship game. Ohio State lost their last game of the year. Both got in the playoff. The thing is, in September, we always look at the schedule and say, well, somebody's going to come out of the Pac-12 with no losses.
Okay.
Somebody's going to come out of the ACC. Somebody's going to come out of the Big Ten. Somebody's going to come out of the
Okay.
Big 12. Teams lose.
Okay.
Teams lose. It's very fucking hard to go undefeated.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done
Okay,
because
keep
Notre
going.
Dame is not finished. Notre Dame, if they lose again, they're finished. Right now, if they go 11-1 with a win over USC, with a win over Duke, with a win over what's left of Clemson, if they go 11-1, they'll be sitting there at the end, and chaos could happen anywhere. The Pac-12 has 6 or 7 great teams, good teams, 4 great teams. They could just knock each other around. The Big Ten, who knows what's going to go on with that 3-team tournament going on this year. If they get to 11-1, a spot will open up for them. That's what I'm saying.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay, so all this football season, in fact, you already have done it this morning. You've been talking about how this year is different because all the talent is spread out over the country. So how can you use the last 10 years of college football playoff data we have and say this is how things are done? You're talking about like this thing like it's a 200-year-old event that we have this historical precedence with this thing. It's a very new thing, the college football playoff and the criteria to make it.
Yeah.
But then also you just said that in that window, college football looked different than it does this year. This year things have changed. The
Right.
shift has happened where the SEC is not as the stronghold the SEC has loosened, and now all of a sudden the talent's more spread out. So I think in the past it's things have worked out because in the end we've only had like basically like 5 teams worthy. I think this year we could have like 12 teams worthy of making a playoff, and it's going to get a little more muddy. I think the discussions are going to be way more.
But I feel like in September we always think that. I
Okay,
really do.
all right.
I feel like we always think you're going to reschedule, aren't you?
No, I'm gonna.
I feel
flesh
like
this
we
out for
always
you.
think that. Okay, so in the Pac-12, the chances of a 2-loss champion are present. Those chances exist. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Texas, going to be a problem. Texas is far and away the best team in their conference. Texas, the SEC champ, I think those are 2 spots. The Big Ten,
The Big Ten champion's getting in.
You presume the
And
Big
if
Ten champion's getting in, yes.
You don't presume the Big Ten champion is 100. The only way the Big Ten champion's not getting in is if the West beats the East team. But even then, the team that there might be a path for like
Yeah.
the team in the East that didn't like if Ohio State say is the team that gets to go to the Big Ten championship and they lose to Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship, I still think at that point it's either Michigan or Penn State,
Yeah.
whichever one of those teams has one loss. The Big Ten's getting a team in.
Oh yeah, probably.
The
yeah.
SEC's
yeah.
getting a team in.
Yeah, probably.
100%. 100%.
Yep.
Both of those conferences are 100% getting one. The Pac-12, with how good it is this year, is getting a team in.
Maybe. You can't say yes. You can't say yes. What if they
They all can't lose 3 games, Brandon.
What if they all lose 2?
they-
What if they all lose 2, Mark? What if the
Read
champion
the
has 2?
schedule. Play it out.
You want me to read the whole Pac-12 schedule?
I want you to read the whole schedule. I want you to explain a scenario where all teams are going to lose 2 games.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. So Oregon, USC plays Washington. They play Notre Dame. They have
Okay.
multiple possible losses on their schedule. Washington has multiple possible losses on their schedule. Oregon has multiple possible losses.
But they
on
all
their
can't
schedule.
lose to like Washington can't lose
Correct.
to Oregon and USC, but then
Say-
USC also lose to Washington.
Say
and Oregon. They all
Washington
can't lose to each other.
Say Washington goes 11-1, wins and goes to the Pac-12 championship game. They play 2-loss USC. USC beats them. What do?
Say that again.
Washington goes 11-1. They go to the Pac-12 championship game. They play 2-loss USC in the championship game. USC beats them.
USC goes to the playoff.
No,
I
they
think.
don't.
I-
Not
I-
over
I-
1-loss Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Who beats
this
USC?
is what I'm saying.
Who beats
You
USC? You're telling me.
You think
No. Listen to what you're saying.
You
You're-
think that
you're telling
you
me.
think that this is what drives me fucking crazy about the playoffs talk. People talk about the college football
You don't
playoffs.
know what you're saying right now.
People talk about the college football playoffs like you can't do that. How many times have we heard you can't put a team that didn't do this thing has existed for 10 years. You're talking about it like it's the most sacred thing we have that's been around for 2,000
just
years.
told me-
And you can't put a 2-loss team. Watch them. Every single Ohio.
Do you understand what you just said?
The first
Do you
year-
understand what you just said?
Okay,
You just
okay.
said 2-loss USC would go to the playoff over Notre Dame.
I think a 2-loss USC team, if depending on listen, if Notre Dame beats them by 12 touchdowns, that's a different story. But if you win the Pac-12 with how good the Pac-12 is this year, you're in the playoff. I think you're in the playoff.
Maybe.
I think you're in the playoff.
I can't say yes.
I don't know how you can have a conference that's as deep as it is, that's as good as it is, and assuming the 2 losses that USC suffer are against good teams, and they're not against, you know, if they're losing to Arizona or something.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
If 11-1 Notre Dame's sitting there with wins over USC, with wins over Duke, with wins over
Just how many times in these
their only loss is a last-second loss to Ohio State.
every single year is you can't do this with the playoff. Every single year, it's like you can't.
But you're doing that though. You're saying Notre Dame can't get in. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm saying no. It's going to be hard for Notre Dame to get in because I think that all these other teams are going to have better cases. I think USC, the totality of their schedule and their resume, I think that if Notre Dame beats USC, they get to use that as a tiebreaker. They get to use that if in the end you look at both teams and you're like, I don't know which one to go with. Let's go with Notre Dame because they beat USC. I think if USC wins the Pac-12, I don't think the resumes are going to be close. I think USC's resume is going to be way better because the Pac-12 is way better than Notre Dame's dog shit schedule moving forward.
Well,
Which,
again, Notre Dame would have a win over USC, and their only loss is to Ohio State the last play.
But if you're doing head-to-head stuff, then you might as well
you do head-to-head stuff. That works. That's part of it.
But that's if it's a tie. If you have 2 equal teams.
They wouldn't be equal at that
I know
point.
USC would be way better because they ran a gauntlet of a Pac-12
Well, they have
schedule.
a worse record.
Because they ran a gauntlet of a Pac-12 schedule.
All right.
Oh my God! People talk about that. This is
While
what just
you're-
drives me crazy. is
while
'cause
you're
this,
angry,
this,
I'd
hap-
like
this,
to-
this happened literally the first playoff that we ever had. Ohio State lost to Virginia Tech, and people were like,
Are you still sore about that?
"No, I'm not. We won the national championship. Why would I be sore about that? We lost to Virginia Tech, and everyone's like, you can't put Ohio State in." And then guess what? Ohio State. This has been happening every single year that people are like, you can't. A team that has XYZ cannot make the playoff. That's never. And then every single year they're like, well, I guess they can. A team that doesn't win their conference can't make the playoff. And then
They do all the time.
they do all the time. And they're like, well, maybe they can. So I don't think this idea that if you lose 2 games, you can't make the playoff. I don't think that's true. I think if you're in by far the best conference in college football, which the Pac-12 is trending that way,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and you win the Pac-12,
If you have 2 losses, it's going to be tough. If you have 2 losses, it'll be tough. While you're angry, though, the Chicago Cubs. Did you see that game, Mark? Hey, Mark, Evo, tell me what the wild card race is right now.
Yeah, let me get it pulled up.
Because I saw last night the Cubs were in a must-win situation, and they didn't win.
So the Phillies clinched last night.
Yeah, that's
they're
good
in.
for them. Yeah,
First wild card spot.
Diamondbacks are currently hold the second wild card spot. Then they are one game up on the Cubs, who are a half a game up on the Marlins.
but the Cubs just got beat, right? They didn't make a mistake to get beat. They didn't.
They lost the dogfight to the Braves last night. It looked like.
Well, I mean,
I only
it's
saw
not
the box.
The
score.
Braves didn't quit 2 weeks ago, did they?
No.
Okay. Mark, did you see the Cubs game? Tell you
Huh?
what, when I was
What's going on? What are we talking about?
the Cubs.
Yeah, we only saw the box score.
Yeah, I saw the box score. They lost to the best team in baseball by 1 run. Very good effort from the Cubbies. I think it's a sign that they do belong in the playoffs because if you can hang around the Braves in Atlanta like that,
Yeah, their strength of schedule did not take a hit last night.
that did not.
Right.
I think that's an impressive.
The committee's
loss.
really going to have to weigh this.
In much the same way you think Notre Dame losing is actually a good thing for their case because they lost to a good football team.
Great
in
football
the end,
team.
at the end of the game.
Great football team.
I think the committee, the MLB committee, will take a look at this game and they will say the Cubs playing the best team in baseball took them to the wire really.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, lost by 1 run. I think the committee will still put them in the playoffs.
Great run differential too. If you
Great
take
run
that into
differential.
account as
yeah,
a committee.
Yeah.
I'm fired up, dude. Why do you do this to me?
I didn't do it. You were fired up when you got here.
I'm not fired. I never yelled
you
this
know what
much
I realized? You know what I
I got
realized?
on this show, and then suddenly
You're
like
fucking L.A. Mark, and you're just putting on for the Pac-12. You live in L.A. for 3 years. All of a sudden, you're Mr. You got Lincoln Riley. You're texting Lincoln Riley right now.
you're the guy that loves Notre Dame.
I don't love Notre Dame. I'm just saying for people that say they lost, they don't have a path back to the playoff. You're crazy.
Of course they have a path.
Everybody with 1 loss or less right now has a path to the
admit
playoff.
that Colorado has a path to the playoff.
And I will not do that.
exactly. Fraud. Fraud.
I will not do that. Theoretical path, sure. That path closes.
They have the exact same path that Notre Dame has.
Not,
The exact same path.
okay.
Literally the exact same
I guess
path.
they do
which
have
is-
a home.
Which is win all
technically-
your games in front of you.
Technically, they both have a home game against USC. I think they're going to go different directions.
They have literally the exact same path, which is win all the games from here.
It's really everybody's path if you think about it. All right.
The Cubs, listen, the Cubs were 10 games under 500 in June. This was trending when the season started. You just need to take like a big zoom out perspective because at one point towards the end of September, I guess we are towards the end of August. I mean, as the calendar was turning September, it looked like the Cubs might catch the Brewers. It looked like I was talking. The Cubs were red hot.
Yeah.
And I was talking myself into a world where the Cubs were going to win the division. Then they hit a huge slump. We're obviously here where we're at now. And I think with the roller coaster of it all, it is frustrating to see a guy lose a ball in the lights.
Is that what he
At
did?
this-
I thought he just whiffed it.
Thought he was on the take. You think?
No, I just thought I didn't know if he lost it in lights or he just doesn't know how to catch a pop-up.
I have to believe that a major
He
league right
knows how to-
fielder would be
yeah.
able to catch a pop up.
He didn't catch that one.
I would have
He
to believe.
he didn't catch that one at all.
Yeah, so it stinks, but also like if you look at the totality of the season, you came into the season, I didn't necessarily expect the Cubs to make the playoff. I was
So
hoping
you're
they
in
would have
the-
a competitive
You're
baseball
in the
team.
acceptance stage.
They were 10 games under 500.
Mm-hmm.
They got back to competitive. They're still, if the season ended today, they're still in the playoffs. So I don't think that this is I'm trying to just stay positive about this. I'm trying to have a next play mentality. There's still games left. If the Cubs went out from here, they need help, right? Because the Marlins could.
Oh, if they went out from here, they should be good, right? I mean, there's still 4 games left.
But we don't have the tiebreaker with the Marlins.
Oh, that sucks.
So if the Marlins went out, I think we're in
Yeah, the
trouble.
Marlins have one less game played than you. They have a
Yeah.
game in hand.
So if the Cubs went out from here
Yeah.
and then get some help, I'm taking your approach with Notre Dame. We do
Why are
this.
you making me a Notre Dame fan?
We do this every year. We talk about teams are going to miss the playoffs, but then every year stuff happens, and then all of a sudden the Cubs are still in the playoffs.
Where did I get that voice? There's no accent there. All right.
So that's I don't know. The fact that the Cubs looked like at the trade deadline they were going to sell all their best players.
I'm gonna cheer you up right now.
The fact that it looked like it was a lost season, and now we're here, and it's the last week of the season. We might make the playoffs. All told, I'm okay with that. But yes, last night was a huge kick in the dick.
I'm gonna cheer you up. Let's talk a little USA basketball, okay?
Okay.
Let's talk a little. So The Ryder Cup is this weekend, which makes me think of basketball.
Of course.
Why wouldn't? So the Ryder Cup, if you're not familiar with it, is, I believe, where a bunch of Barstool personalities get together on a very expensive golf course and just have a circle jerk and play really shitty golf.
And you and I aren't invited, even
Correct.
though we're
Yes.
better golfers than basically every single one of them.
Most of them are absolutely terrible and embarrass themselves. Anyway, what was I talking about? The Ryder Cup is this weekend. It is the United States, the best golfers we have, against the best golfers Europe has. I don't know why they get to be a whole continent and we don't, but whatever.
I think we should win just based off that alone.
So
just like immediately we win because it's USA versus an entire continent.
So now it gets me to thinking, if USA basketball put its 12 best against Europe's 12 best in a Ryder Cup of basketball, what does that look like? Who we throwing out there and who we trying to get? Because I look at Europe and all of a sudden we're definitely starting with Luka, with Jokic, and with Giannis. That's a pretty good three.
Right.
Are we able to counter that?
Is the United States able to counter 3 good basketball players? I would say yes.
3 of the the best basketball players in the world.
Do you want the serious answer?
So we're countering with 40-year-old LeBron, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're going to do it at the Olympics next year.
I know. But we're not. We're playing individual countries, not all of Europe.
Durant is still that dude. Steph is still that dude. LeBron will. The problem with LeBron being on the Olympics team is he has to start, and it's not that LeBron's a bad basketball player, but is he one of the 5 best that we? But he
I
actually
think he's better than Durant at this point. I mean, Durant coming off another injury, right? Like it's I don't know. Yeah.
What made you think of this?
The Ryder Cup. The Ryder Cup. So
you're like, what if the Ryder Cup was a sport that I care more about?
So wait, somebody just had a good point. Is Serbia in Europe? Is Jokic in Europe?
Oh my God,
that's in Eastern Europe, right?
Yeah.
That's in
this
Eastern
is
Europe.
the guy I'm doing a show with at this.
Well, we're talking. We're talking through this.
Is Serbia in Europe? Where would Serbia be? Serbia's been the same place always. It's always been.
Well, Russia's not in Europe. Russia's in Asia.
Russia's in Europe.
It's half in Europe.
Pull up the map, TJ. Pull up the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Serbia?
Let's read some maps.
Are you serious?
I don't think that's an unreasonable question.
Is Serbia in Europe is not an unreasonable question?
I don't think that's an unreasonable question. Does it fuck around and get over towards where it's too far east? I don't know
Serbia
where it
has
is.
never moved. Serbia has always been Serbia.
Serbia
always
moves.
been.
See, that's what
Serbia
you don't know.
has never
Serbia moves
moved.
all the time.
Serbia has never
Serbia
once
used to
moved.
be between Alabama and Georgia.
It is by Georgia, actually. Serbia is by Georgia.
Serbia's where, like right here?
If Serbia isn't, no, Serbia's not in there. Serbia's
right in there.
Serbia's in there?
Yes.
Oh, that's Europe. Yeah, okay, that's Europe. That's definitely Europe.
Serious?
That's definitely. It's not that far from Asia. Well, just zoom in a little bit to
Asia
the.
starts like here.
Okay, all right.
Oh my God.
I don't think that's that. Anyway, doesn't matter.
The real answer is if you're doing just NBA guys, yeah, of course we're gonna have a better team. But the problem is like all these European countries have these dudes that play in Europe and like play the FIBA style. You know, like the Serbian guys I worry about aren't Jokic. It's like these dudes that play in like the fucking Euro League.
Can I tell you a basketball nerd thing that
What?
I do? Do you know who Milos Teodosic is?
Yes.
He's the best passer in the entire world. Every year, about once a year, I just get on a Teodosic YouTube rabbit hole and just watch all his highlights. He's incredible.
He's the kind of guy that I worry about more so in the Olympics than like
knows how to play European basketball.
Yeah, those are the guys that I worry about more so than the NBA All Stars. Joel Embiid is trying to play for France. Victor Wembanyama would be on the team as well.
See, now
Their front court's maybe the deepest thing that's ever existed on any team.
I think you're
Rudy
shortcutting.
Gobert.
I mean, Europe looks pretty good.
Europe is very good. Who are you talking to, dude? I've been sounding the alarm that USA basketball's in trouble for a while.
If they ever let Europe be an Olympic country, that's going to suck.
That would be bad for us.
Because it's going to take away some of our advantage.
That would be interesting though. But how would that Ryder Cup would it just be one game?
And how do we counter them? Do we go all of North America? Canada doesn't do shit for us.
Canada's pretty good.
They don't do shit for us.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's pretty good. But it doesn't. You're right though. Like I mean, talent's not our problem. Our problem is.
I want to take on Europe in every sport. That's what I want. Why don't we just do it in golf? I want to take them on in baseball. I want to take them on in football. I want to beat the shit out of Europe in football.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Imagine if they had an international event where we played them in soccer.
What's the event look like if it's a basketball Ryder Cup? They just play one game and then the winner wins. Is that it?
No, they're just like golf. They play some 2-on-2 matches.
We do a dunk contest. We do a 3-point contest.
They play some 2-on-2 scrambles and then the 1-on-1 segment. Yeah.
Alternate shot.
All right.
A game of basketball where you have to alternate shots. Like if Steph scores this time down,
some teams could use that. Some teams could use an alternate shot format where it kind of gets the ball out of the guy's hand. What else? Yeah, that was Ryder Cup. Are you excited about the Ryder Cup?
I want to be. I do. I want to be excited about it, but then I look up the schedule and everything seems to start at like 3 a.m.
Football's on.
And
too.
football's also on.
Yeah.
And I don't. I mean, I get it's a me problem. I don't fully understand the format. I like the environment. I like the clips that come out of it. I like that, like, you know, when we hit a big putt, they lose their mind.
Elite clips out of this event.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do love that. I love the crowds boo. You know, the Europeans are probably going to boo us, and I love all of it. But no, I probably won't watch it. And I hate that about myself. I don't want to be a golf hater. I like golf. In fact, I'm not. After watching the Barstool Ryder Cup, I'm
Gonna get good.
one of the better
Yeah.
golfers at this company, I would say.
Yep. I got something. Can I do something?
Yeah, why don't you tell us about cars.com?
I'll tell you about cars.com. Hell yeah, I'll tell you about cars.com. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Cars.com. More than anything else, your car says so much about you. Who do you want to be? Well, you can find that on cars.com. Find your next possibility on cars.com, which is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car, celebrating 25 years of helping shop.
It's okay.
Helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars wherever life takes you next. And whoever you're looking to be, there's a car for that on cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. Find your next possibility on cars.com. Where to next? All right, Scoof. There you go. You might remember yesterday we talked a lot about Joe Namath, Broadway Joe, one of the most overrated players in history.
Dumb bitch.
Yeah, as you just said that, funny enough, some guy is DMing me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DMs from actually, I'm gonna call him out. Kenny Nelson, you dumb bitch. This man just keeps DMing me. Hey, Broadway Joe literally made a guarantee. Show me an athlete that did that. Literally every athlete.
Almost every athlete
that's there. I did that when I played, and I'm not even.
And you did as much to help your team as Joe Namath did.
It's true. It's a great point. I've thrown as many Super Bowl touchdowns as Joe Namath.
All right.
Do a guarantee before the show.
This man has just sending me.
Let's do a guarantee on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, do it before the show starts, or as the show starts.
You know who guarantees wins? I get every Friday. I give you choices. I guarantee who's going to win football games. I'm 6-0. So, but no, I've been getting unhinged DMs about how the Joe Namath slander is out of control, and it's
Is there anything that sensitive ass bitches won't DM you about on Twitter?
That's a great point.
I mean, who gives a fuck about Joe Namath? Who gives a shit about Joe Namath? If he died tomorrow, fine. Like, why do we care about Joe Namath?
I don't understand.
All right. And I hope Joe Namath lives forever.
All right, so Joe Namath.
So you're familiar with Joe Namath?
Yes.
In 2007, he gave a sideline interview to Susie Colbert where he was inebriated and wanted to kiss her.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you're reading the ad.
He said, He literally said, "I want to kiss you."
Should we? Are we allowed to play it or no?
I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't be.
The audio of it.
Who's going to shut us down? Joe Namath?
Because it was ESPN.
After the ad, we could do it.
All right. Well, let's not do that. But I did make you watch it today.
Yeah.
So go ahead and hit that.
Okay. No, I have to talk drunk. I believe Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car. Celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars. I couldn't care less about my struggles. Wherever life takes you next, and whoever you're looking to be, there is a car for that on Cars.com. I want to kiss you.
Okay, all right.
I want to kiss you. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. I want to kiss you. Yeah.
There you go.
Cars.com, where to next?
Good stuff.
Hold on, Kenny Nelson.
Is he all up in the DMs?
Well,
some
I
more?
mean, this man is now saying, this is the most fucking stale take ever, bro. Nobody on this earth under the age of 50 is under any impression that this guy is some elite talent historically.
Why is he so passionate about this?
But he's arguing. He's like, you're right, but we've already settled this. Just like leave it alone. That's his take now.
I'm kind of team
I'm
Kenny
very
Nelson.
I'm
on
very
this.
confused.
I'm team
He
Kenny
basically,
Nelson.
this man sent me 7 DMs, just paragraph after paragraph, basically saying, "Shut the fuck up, dude. You're right." That's basically what he said. He's like, "Shut the fuck up, dude. You're right, but you don't need to say it. Just let Joe be."
So shut the fuck up, man.
You're so right, but just like shut the fuck
You're
up.
nailing this. God. All right. Every Wednesday, around 9:30,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Tommy Walker minute. One, go.
Hello, this is Thomas Walker, and we're doing Tommy Walker's Minute. My top five Barcelona employees edition. We're
Yep.
going from 5 to 1. My 5th favorite employee is Spider. My 4th favorite employee
Wait,
is
give reasons. Spider's number 5.
Spider's number 5 because he was one of the first people I met at Barstool, and he's basically he's like me. Number
4.
4 is Mark Titus. We
Let's
met him.
go.
He's a really nice guy. He's fun to talk to, and that's why he's my 4th favorite.
3.
3 is Frank, because he's just really fun. He's funny.
Yep. 2.
2 is Big Cat, because he's really nice, and he was the first person I met at Barstool. And then 1 is Nick, because he's the most like me. We can understand each other, and we get along a lot better than all the other employees.
I noticed, so Spider, Titus, Frank, Big Cat, Nick. Did you leave anybody off? What about me?
6. Bye.
He still didn't put me in the top 5. He just got me.
He just
put me in-
paused.
Yeah.
and then
He
6.
can be 6.
I like those rankings. Those might be my rankings as well.
That's about standard. I think that's a
That's
lot
pretty
of people's
good.
rankings.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's rankings. Yeah.
Well, so he did a rankings a couple months back a while ago, and Nick wasn't even on the top 5. So now
Whoa.
Nick is number 1.
I wonder
Well-
what Nick has done to.
Nick, can I tell you? So Nick has kind of taken Tommy under his wing as far as Tommy is a nerd and Nick's a nerd.
Yeah.
And he took him to a Pokemon shop. He took him to a comic book store.
Yeah.
He bought him like $150 worth of Pokemon cards. So that's why he's Team Nick
He's
now.
trying to steal your kid.
Yeah. Have you tried
He's
doing
trying to
these
steal
things?
your
Have
life.
you, Brandon? Have you tried showing an interest in your child's interest? Maybe you would be on the top 5.
Who?
I thought Tommy would mention it, but I taught Tommy how to throw a spiral too.
Well, Tommy already knew how to. He knew how. He knew how to
When I
throw a
came over
spiral.
to your house, and we were
He knew how
tossing
to
the
throw a
football
spiral.
around.
You don't get credit for that.
Brandon goes, "Son, show him how I taught you to throw the football." And I was like, "Yikes!"
He threw it
And I was
upside
like-
down. He threw it like a kick.
And I said, "Tommy, come here. Let me show you something." And
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's Tommy Walker's top 5. Again, I think that if you ask the average Reddit commenter, I think that's their top 5.
I'm not in the top 5.
Well, you're right.
I wouldn't be in the top 5. But Spider's shooting up the power rankings, huh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, no spoilers. Did he win last night?
No
were
spoilers?
No spoilers, but we were talking earlier. Ebo mentioned it.
I'm just kidding when I say no spoilers. Well, our grandfathers fought in wars, and y'all are worried about internet shows getting spoiled. Yeah, Spider won. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Francis had
And it was last night. If you wanted to watch it, whatever.
Francis had the moment of the show, though. It was incredible.
Francis had the moment of every show.
What was that?
I tried to turn and look at Mark, and the mic hit me in the face. I was turning and looked at you too fast. Are you off today, or am I off today?
What do you mean? Just the energy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. You're the guy that hit yourself in the face with the microphone and
true.
also asked if Serbia was in Europe.
Yeah.
So, you tell me.
I think Serbia is far enough east where it's at least sketchy.
It's very famously in Eastern Europe. Very famous. Like I think that's how you describe
Eastern
the-
Europe,
the
Asia,
part of-
same thing.
I think how you would
describe.
describe, in fact, if I was writing the Wikipedia entry for the country of Serbia, I would probably mention it's a Eastern European country in the first line.
You would lead with that.
I would lead with that. Serbia is an Eastern European country.
How much do you know about Serbia? What's the population? What's the gross national
Belgrade
product?
is the capital.
That's almost certainly not true. Is that true?
Are we being serious now?
Do you know world capitals?
Okay, so Serbia's Wikipedia entry starts: Serbia, officially the Republic of Serbia, is a landlocked country in Southeast and Central Europe.
Yeah, so it's
Damn, it's in Central Europe. That's a bad look.
Southeast.
Were
and
you?
And Belgrade is the capital.
Belgrade is, of course, Belgrade is the capital. I went to third grade, so like, why are we?
You didn't learn
What
Belgrade
else
was
do you
capital
wanna-
of Serbia
what
in
else do
third
you wanna-
grade.
do
You
you wanna
didn't
do our-
learn the capital of Serbia in the third grade.
Should we do our times tables while we're at it? What's 8 times 4, Brandon?
32.
Like, all right. My God, what is going
No,
on?
no, no. You did not learn Serbia's capital in third grade.
I did, but Indiana public education.
Serbia
is a
didn't
little
exist when
different.
I was in third grade.
That's probably true.
That actually is true. That actually is true.
Oh,
That-
yes, that's very much
suddenly
in there. That's very in
you
there.
saying that actually I think might be a point in your favor of not knowing
Serbia
where
did not exist.
Serbia didn't exist when I was growing up.
Were you thinking of Siberia, or
Great
Syria,
Were you
was-
thinking
or
of China?
Slovenia?
Were you thinking of China?
Guys, I know I could cover for myself.
China's in Asia.
I know I could cover for myself right now, but I was 100% thinking of Serbia. Why does he do this every time? Why does Dan feel like why does he have to do this?
Because he knows it's gonna work. He knows that now he's running from the camera.
All right.
Because he knows that you will,
I didn't know where
you will
I-
acknowledge him every single time. That's why he does it.
Such a dickhead.
All right.
Should I get Big
So
Cat?
what's the
Should we
capital-
get Big Cat in here?
I want to test your third grade knowledge. What's Croatia's capital?
That is
Right. Exactly. So you didn't know Belgrade was capital.
Dubrovnik.
yeah, it
Is
was Dubrovnik. It's where they did Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, Dubrovnik. It took me. I had to hear it to know it.
They also filmed part of Star Wars there.
When TJ said the answer, I knew it. Then
What's your favorite HBO show? Did you like Game of Thrones?
I did. I like Game of Thrones.
I never watched it.
Until the end, like everyone else.
I never watched it.
It was elite. It was.
I still think The Wire is the best HBO show.
The Wire's very good.
I didn't watch The Sopranos though.
Yeah, that's a take that I have that people don't like about me. That's every time I admit this publicly, I get killed for it. But I got to speak my truth. I don't just mob stuff in general just doesn't do it for me.
I'm the same way. I don't even watch
It doesn't do it
Sopranos.
for me.
I don't like mob movies.
I don't think it's bad. I've seen The Godfather. I've seen Goodfellas.
Yeah.
They are good films. I don't think I don't come out of it like pumping my fist.
I have the
saying,
exact same take.
Holy shit, dude!
I don't wake up saying I need to watch Goodfellas today. I don't. Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times. It's fine. It's really good. It's good. It's a good movie.
The mob in general is something that a lot of guys romanticize, or whatever the thing it was with the Roman Empire, where everyone's like, "How often
Right.
do you think about?" I think the mob checks that box as well. Where like dudes think about the mob and how cool the mob is and all that shit. And I just never had that gene. My brain doesn't have that gene where I think the mob is like just a bunch of morons. I thought they were all.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Al Capone died of syphilis.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Al Capone was like 33 years old and died of syphilis.
Didn't we have a president die of syphilis?
Did we?
I think so. Maybe not.
I need to know this now. I'm pretty sure Al Capone died of syphilis.
He might have.
He was in Alcatraz too. I don't think he died in Alcatraz though.
Didn't they put him in jail for tax evasion?
Yeah, tax evasion, not murdering everybody.
So according to the first result on Google, which is never wrong, the person you were thinking of is Abe Lincoln, and I do not believe he died of syphilis.
You can't. You don't know that.
I don't think that was the cause.
You
of
don't
death.
know that. You don't know that.
Well, how would he have died then?
Do you think they would have
you
reported
think it
him
was
as a
the-
syphilis death?
Maybe the bullet was dipped in syphilis.
That's what it was. He tipped the bullet in
Dude,
syphilis.
what the doctor that did the autopsy on Lincoln must have fucking hated the guy. Cause like, no one was asking what this man died of, and he still comes out and he's like, by the way, I know his head exploded,
Man, that's
but just for the record, I was looking at his dick, and I think history should reflect that this man had
The
syphilis.
theory is that John Wilkes Booth had syphilis.
Oh,
Oh.
and syphilis drove him crazy. Huh.
Huh.
with all the women in his life, including the many prostitutes he had affairs with.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Was that John Wilkes Booth or Abe Lincoln?
It was inevitable that he contracted
John
syphilis.
Wilkes Booth and the Women Who Loved Him is a book about John Wilkes Booth.
So what
That
is
makes sense.
syphilis like? Goes
It's somewhere around the dick. It's,
but then it goes into your brain.
Does
and,
it?
like makes you crazy. Is that
it
correct?
goes from I don't know.
What is syphilis?
I'm not
to
really
you?
enjoying the Google images of syphilis.
Well,
some of those
describe them. Don't show us. Just describe the
Just a lot of spots on your body and
Yeah.
in places you don't really want to have spots.
mostly in the dick region.
All over.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Is it curable? Can you cure syphilis?
I have to imagine now.
You should get it and we should find out.
Go get syphilis.
Put it in the hat.
Put it in the hat.
Put it in
Jaw.
Get syphilis in the hat.
Contract syphilis. Did double check that for me because I've lived with this knowledge for a while. I want to make sure it's true that Al Capone
Now,
died of syphilis. Basically,
Ebo, you were
And
saying
he was like 33. Al Capone was like 33 years old, and died of syphilis. And that's the guy that's like the number one mob guy, isn't he? Isn't that like the guy that's like?
I don't know. Yeah, he's one of them. He's a different.
you-
Is he
if
the
you were
same
to
mob?
ask-
Is he the same mob? Like he's mob, but like there's New York mob, and then he was Chicago. Right. So
Yeah, mental and physical deteriorated from
Paris-
late stage of
a late stage of syphilis.
syphilis. Yeah, this is the mobs. This is what I mean. Like this is the guy
Wait
that
a
like
minute. Wait a minute. He got out, was sent to a Baltimore mental hospital, and then he just got to retire to his Florida estate. He got to keep all his money.
wait.
He got to
Hold
keep.
on, go back. What?
It said
He was released and
November
sent to
1939 and was sent to a Baltimore mental hospital before he retired
Oh.
to his Florida estate.
He
But
got
he-
better.
It's because he lost his mind. I think they pitied him.
That he died playing tennis on his Florida estate.
Oh, did he die at all? Is he still out there?
He's 48.
Oh, he was 48.
This is a conspiracy podcast now.
Yeah.
Did
This
Abe
is-
Lincoln
this is-
really
yeah.
die from a bullet? Is Al Capone still alive? And did China kill the Pac-12?
The case. of
Well, no.
Malcolm
We
X.
know China killed the Pac-12. That's
Why did I think Al Capone was 33? Maybe he got arrested. when
that's
he was
Jesus.
33.
You're thinking of
I'm thinking of
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That has to be it.
Jesus.
Jesus
Yeah.
also had syphilis.
I'm not comfortable with that one. All right. What else you got here?
Syphilis has to be curable now.
I would think so.
I think it is.
Everything's
Yeah.
curable except for cancer
Yeah.
and
And that's a whole other conspiracy we can get into another.
a lot of other stuff. Joe Exotic is back in the news. Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic is
This is
in
y'all's
the, in the
fault.
college football news.
This is y'all's fault. Y'all made this guy famous for being in a reality show right when COVID hit. I didn't watch that shit. So now he's suing Jordan Travis for a new Tiger King nickname. It's my trademark.
Correct. George's
How-
going on a tirade.
This is passionate right here.
How did you not watch this? That's what I want to know.
Tiger King?
Yeah.
I
There was nothing else on, and everybody was talking about it.
didn't want to watch.
Like, no part of you was like-
I don't like reality TV. How about that? I don't like real
But,
people.
yeah, I
'Cause
know,
they're
but,
not the real people they show in these reality shows are the most fake people you've ever seen. This is a fake person.
Be that as it may,
Not a real person.
No part of you was like, I want to be a part of the conversation that every single person.
I
is
bet you
having.
like Duck Dynasty too, didn't you?
I did not watch Duck Dynasty. You know why I didn't watch Duck Dynasty? Because Duck Dynasty wasn't the singular show that everybody on this
A
planet.
lot of
was
people
watching
did. A lot of people watched it.
At the same. Did you watch Duck Dynasty?
I did not. I did not.
Okay. What other shows did you not watch?
Most of them.
This is fun.
Most
This is
shows.
riveting. This is riveting content.
I
Brandon.
haven't seen most shows.
I think you would fucking love Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you would have.
Personally.
No,
would've.
I don't like that nerd dragon.
You would love
shit.
Ballers.
There you go.
You do love nerd
Ballers
shit.
You
is
do
great.
love the nerd shit. Why do you always say
You
that?
love nerd shit.
I don't love nerd shit. Are you saying wrestling and video games are nerd shit?
Yeah.
A little bit.
You should watch Invincible on Amazon Prime. It's an animated show, but you would love it.
Oh, that's also true.
It's like superheroes if they were like realistically human beings.
Well, how, are they invincible?
One guy thinks he is.
Do you remember that show Heroes? Did you watch that?
That was on NBC.
Yeah, and
I
then
didn't
it
watch
got-
it.
the
I
world.
don't-
And then it got
Yeah.
it got bad because of the writer strike. Is the writer strike?
I think it's coming to an
it's
end.
coming to an end.
But I think it's been coming to an end for a couple days. It hasn't actually ended yet.
Huh?
Actually, that's why this show stinks today because the writers are on strike.
Yeah. Who writes your jokes?
Nick,
Hmm.
who writes yours?
Nick. Also Nick.
Sounds like a scab.
Let's see.
But you mentioned Joe Exotic, and then you didn't even talk about what the story actually is. You just
Did I
said
not?
you just said Joe Exotic, and then
So he calls out Jordan Travis for a new Tiger King nickname, but Jordan Travis won an overtime game over the Clemson Tigers, and he beat LSU. So I think that does make him the Tiger King. And now
are people calling Jordan Travis the Tiger King?
I
Is
think
that-
Jordan
is that something-
Travis is calling
Oh, he's calling himself
the
the Tiger King.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just released the shirt himself.
Dude, I listen. It's
Wait,
played
can
out.
I-
The Joe Exotic discourse is played out. I understand. You have to watch this. I don't understand how you like it. It like boggles the mind that you did not ever watch. You have no
If
idea.
it had not been during the height of COVID, would you have watched it? If it came out now, would you watch it?
The way everyone like it got so ubiquitous. Yes, I would have watched it. That's how Game of Thrones happened for me. I didn't watch the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, and then I was like, all right, I can't even like have conversations with my friends anymore because they're all making Game of Thrones references. I have to watch this show just to be able to keep up with everybody. That's how Tiger King got.
It wouldn't have been as big of like a phenomenon, but it still is a very good concept for a docuseries. Like
Dude, it was I can't believe you didn't see
It was
this.
good. It was really good.
Guys, I didn't
haven't
see
seen
it.
either.
He didn't see it either.
Are you
ready
aware
for-
of Carol Bastion's existence?
Oh,
That's his wife?
No.
No, oh my god,
arch enemy, bro.
oh my god,
What? It wasn't his wife?
No.
Okay, relax.
dude, this isn't.
I
That's what-
told you I didn't watch it. Why are y'all surprised I didn't watch it?
Because this wasn't. You're talking about it like it's just another reality show. This was not just another reality. I don't watch reality shows either, and this like elevated itself to a cultural phenomenon, is what I'm saying. This was not a reality
Can you
show.
bring
This
up
was
his
a-
tweet again?
We sent this tweet to bring up on today's show with plenty of time for you to go watch
You
the
could have watched the
docuseries.
whole
You
series.
could have went
Yeah, I
back.
could. You wanted me,
Dude.
Yeah, when you sent it last night at 8:00, you wanted me to go
But
watch.
if you haven't seen Tiger, then none of this would make any sense to you. Why this would be interesting?
Jordan Travis
Joe
was 6
Exotic,
years old when I became Tiger King. It is my trademark, my intellectual property, and I'm sick of others cashing in on my trademark. Here's where it gets good. Just because President Biden cares nothing about me being wrongfully imprisoned in America, I will give any attorney 80% of a settlement to sue Jordan Travis and all companies selling stuff using Tiger King. Time quarterbacks and anyone else in this country stop stealing from others. Which attorney would like to take this multi-million-dollar case? DM me. President Trump, you see this shit? You're swamped into my life with the corrupt DOJ you ran. This guy seems like he's perfectly balanced. Seems fine.
Yeah. You should.
Actually, I kind of want Jordan Travis to. Until Jordan Travis walks in a cage with 20 full-grown tigers and kisses them on the head, leave the Tiger King
It's
business
a
to
great
me.
point. It's a great point.
Technically, he did walk into like 80,000 tigers last week and kissed them all on the head.
Technically, they weren't tigers at all. So technically, he walked into
You're telling
zero
me
tigers.
Clemson fans aren't tigers?
They aren't tigers. They're human beings. Isn't Joe Exotic in prison?
He is. He's tweeting all
That's-
this from behind bars. Like he's fully in prison.
I think prisons I think I grew up with a fundamental misunderstanding.
That's
of
what I was gonna
prison
say.
is.
I thought,
Prisoners can watch TV and tweet and all this. I didn't think you could do that.
does this make you angry? Do you think prisoners should not have this?
Difference between jail and prison.
He's in prison though, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think prisoners.
Didn't he like get a limousine ready for if Trump won the 2020 election?
He was going to get pardoned.
What were the circumstances of that? I thought he thought he was gonna get pardoned, so he like ordered a limousine to take him from prison.
What's he in
when
jail
Trump
for?
won the election, and then that just
I
didn't
think he
happen.
thought that Trump was going to pardon him the day before he left office, so he had a
Oh,
limo
that's what it
waiting
was.
outside
That's what it
prison,
was.
and then he didn't get it.
He thought one of Trump's last acts as president was going
No.
to pardon him, and
So
and he didn't.
what are the crimes that put him in prison?
Several charges, including a murder for hire plot.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that seems.
He tried to kill Carol Baskin.
He did.
That was his wife.
No, dude. This is the most frustrating thing.
This is a bad look for you.
This is a bad look for you, Brandon. This is like right up your alley. I don't understand how you never saw this. How nobody has it. No one tried to sell you on this before.
I don't
either?
watch that. I don't watch that nerd shit. What do you think about Jade Cargill going to WWE?
Stop.
Big get.
Big get. She's got a lot of potential.
Is WWE still happening?
Yeah.
Like it's still going on? They still like do that?
Oh yeah, big time. They just got
Interesting.
a $1.25 billion to for the next TV contract. Billion
from
with
the
a,
Saudis.
with a B. No, from USA. Literally from USA.
Which is the USA Network?
Yes.
Is that funded by the federal government?
Yeah.
Yes. Joe Biden signed off on it himself. And Vince McMahon has a mustache.
Does Vince McMahon own the company? He sold it,
No,
right?
he sold it to Endeavor, who now owns UFC and WWE.
Okay.
I don't know if I like that.
Sell me on the WWE.
Uh,
Why should anybody care about it now?
I got it. Tiger King docuseries. You watch Game of Thrones. That's a scripted weekly episodic show. This is the same thing.
No. I'm not saying sell me on professional. I watched professional wrestling my whole life. I love professional wrestling
So why do I have to sell you on WWE?
because it's done. It's jumped
It's
the
not
shark.
done. Roman Reigns is one of the biggest stars in the world right now.
Point proven. I think you just proved my point. Roman Reigns, like 10 years ago, we were over Roman Reigns.
No, but he
That's
came
why I
back
got
in.
out of. That's why I got out
He
of
came
WWE.
back in, though. He came back in.
Every time I watched WWE,
Nah,
Roman
heel
Reigns would be
Roman
like,
Reigns, nah.
Roman Reigns would go, watch
No.
this, and then he would like cock his fist.
You don't know. You don't even
His
know.
fucking finishing move
You
was
don't even
cocking
know.
his was like.
You don't even
It
know.
was like, oh no, here he
Power
goes.
Ranger
Here
move.
he goes. Here it comes. Punch. And then everyone was like, ugh.
How's
this
the punch
is crazy.
supposed to hurt if he doesn't cock it?
Dude, I remember a time where the finishing move was Hulk Hogan simply dropping his leg on someone, which was real man shit.
Can I throw an idea at you?
What?
Basketball player right now, if you're coming up, if you're 17 and you can shoot, right before you get the ball, cock it. That way you'll make it every time. Cock it.
If any young basketball players are watching,
Look at
do
Vince
not do
McMahon.
that.
Let's look at Vince McMahon.
Horrifying.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
So is he like in WWE? Is he a part of it still or no?
He sold it on the condition that they let him run it.
If I watch Monday Night Raw every night, every Monday, how long will it take for me to see Vince McMahon on my screen?
I don't think you'll see him.
No.
He's not on
Years?
there right now. It'll be
Then
years.
it'll be
yeah.
years now.
Yeah. You might not ever see him again.
Wow.
Hmm.
But Roman Reigns still cocking his fist, huh? Damn, that sounds.
No, heel
that
Roman
sounds
Reigns
tight.
is awesome. Bloodline Roman Reigns is awesome.
That sounds
you don't even know.
super cool. Roman Reigns. Does he still have like the one move, or is he like learn how to operate in a ring? Okay.
He learned.
All right.
Did you write down "Let's rank Garth Brooks songs"?
Yeah, I don't know. I was sitting over there this morning and I was thinking about some 90s country. I was like, let's rank some Garth Brooks songs.
Do Shady Racers?
We have Shady Racers?
What? Oh.
Oh, God, this. You do it.
All right. Hang on. Let me talk about Shady Rays. Hold those thoughts on Garth Brooks songs. Let's talk about Shady Rays. Gear up for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good, as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and crystal clear optics. I got the burps, man. I don't know what
You
happened.
want to give it to me?
Durable frames and crystal clear optics for all outdoor adventures with an extensive array of styles and colors. You're bound to find the perfect pair of Shady Rays sunglasses. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them free with 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. I'll say it again, no risk. There's no risk. If you don't like them, exchange for a new pair.
There's
or
probably
return
some
them.
risk, though. Is there risk?
I can't make it any clearer, Brandon. There is no risk.
Wow.
You buy the sunglasses, you don't like them, you return them for exchange them for a free pair, or you return them for free within 30 days. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out an amazing deal for the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code MOSTLYSPORTS for 50% off. 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. That's
5
almost
stars.
as many as we have given us 5 stars.
Yeah, almost.
Go to the podcast app of your choice, Spotify or Apple, and give us a 5-star
5 stars.
review. Do that.
5-star review. Yeah, subscribe on the YouTube. Why every show we do, we have more views than subscribers? It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense.
The numbers don't add up. I crunch the numbers. They don't add up. So some of you out there are not subscribing. Subscribe, please.
So do you want to go over the so we asked them to leave a review, and we would go over their submissions.
Oh, yeah, to put in the hat?
Yeah.
The hat, because we were ready to kill the hat, and then yesterday we
Saved the hat.
So yesterday,
That's how
Yesterday
ball is
saved the
done.
hat. Yep.
That
Yeah,
right
it should
there
have
is-
come out way before now, by the way.
Well, I'll do it at the end.
Okay, good. Yeah, you want to do
that
that?
should be like the sign off of every show we do.
That's how ball is done?
That's how ball is
That's
done.
probably is
just
going
like-
to be
we
from
like
now on.
Connor to say that's how ball is done.
We could try that. I was trying to toy around with a design for a shirt, but I think the more simple it is, the better. If
Yeah.
we could even sell, I don't know if we would be able to sell.
We don't have enough subscribers yet.
Yeah,
No.
we can't sell.
Can't
merch
sell a shirt
until-
until we have 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
22,000.
past
actually.
15 last night.
Did
We
we?
did?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's big time.
We're
I'm
still
still,
in-
I'm still taking the boys out to dinner, by the way.
At
20.
20,000?
Yeah, because we never did like a launch party. You know, like it's customary to
Yeah, we did a lunch party.
in the in the business. It's customary to celebrate the launch of a new show. We never did that, so we should do that. Yeah,
If I celebrated every launch of every new show, I would
true,
never
that's
stop
true.
celebrating. Just be one long
I think that's
party.
why I didn't want to do a launch party for this one. I wanted to make sure it is sticking around.
We'll do a launch party for the next one.
Dude, I saw a TikTok of like the fanciest restaurant in Chicago. That's where we should go. Alinea?
Alinea, yeah, that is a very good restaurant. That
Yeah. Have you been there?
Yeah, my agent takes me every time he comes into town.
My agent never takes me there.
Oh damn, that sucks. No, I've never been there. I'm kidding.
Oh.
But I know it exists, and I've
Wait, whoa.
I've seen this
time
before.
out. Time out. That's a big. What is that? Big pussy flower? What going on? It's just flowers.
But
they're
this
not
is
eating.
why. This is why.
Is that Scott Van Pelt? Ooh, okay, no.
Chef reactions.
This is why when I initially said we'll go to a place that it wasn't about the money. It's if it's 100 plus on the Google Maps, which is how I look up restaurants, and then it'll say like 100 plus to tell you how much it costs.
Yeah.
I don't care about the money. I care about this environment. I don't want to eat dinner at this place.
This doesn't look.
This
that
doesn't
high.
look fun. I don't want to take the boys to
What's
this
that?
place.
Queso? Is it a little queso?
It's almost definitely not queso.
Oh, we got sardines.
Where's the food? Is there any food?
There's a sardine on a cracker.
Does this restaurant serve food?
This is a three
Can you eat the
Michelin
goose?
star.
Ebo's leaving to go to his better show. He's going to pick
Ebo's
him.
out?
Yeah.
I have to go face the music. I am 0-4 on Mortal Lock, so
Unbelievable.
start.
Trade a first round
I
pick.
should start taking Mark's
Huh.
choices instead.
Huh. So it looks like it's just me and Connor. Perfect attendance. Huh.
Wait, I told you I was here Friday. I was here.
You weren't here for most of the show Friday.
I was here for the second half. I also I put somebody in my chair. I chose the wrong person because everybody loves him, but I put somebody in my chair.
including your own son. As number one. No, we're not going to Alinea. Plus, I think it takes like a year to get a reservation. I think you have to like make the reservation.
Yeah, but
now
for me and you though.
That's true.
I mean, come
We
on.
should do that on the show. We should call Alinea.
So hey,
We can't do calls, by the way, because people keep asking me if we're going to take callers on the show. I don't think we've ever addressed that.
As soon as we're physically capable of doing calls, we will do calls.
in the new
Yeah.
studio, we hope that we are able to.
Yeah,
right?
we can't take callers
This
right now, but we
office
will
does not
eventually.
have the facilities for taking calls.
Which is to say, it doesn't have a phone.
Which is
The facilities being
pretty
a phone.
wild if you think about
Just a phone. We don't have a phone. Yeah, I want to do. Would you be game when we do start taking callers? I get asked constantly about people that have been blocked by you. Ask me to ask you to unblock them. I want people to call in and state their case why they should be
I
unblocked.
think I'm about to do a mass unblocking.
I don't know if. All right, you can do what you want.
Well, if
That'd
you
be
want to
nice.
do it like that, we can do it like that. But it'll just be a bunch of whiny ass callers, be a bunch of
That's
Minifans
true.
making lame ass jokes. Like it won't be as funny as you think it will. I've tried to do it before, but these people that do all that online, you get them on the phone, they can't think on their
So it
feet.
sounds like we won't be taking callers on the show.
No, we're going to take callers on the show, but the format I'd like to propose is calls until they suck. We'll take your call, but as soon as it starts
That's
to suck,
true.
you're out.
That's true, and then you ruin it for the rest of the
Right.
Yeah.
Calls until they suck.
Which D's nuts jokes, it is funny, but
The first one's funny.
the first one would be funny.
Yeah.
So it's like one D's nuts joke a day, basically, is the limit. But then after that, they start to suck. So what were we doing? We're reading the reviews to
Chat
see
in the
what
hat.
goes in the hat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ebo said that he printed them out. I don't know. Do you guys have them in there or no?
well, Ebo,
He must have printed them out for Pick'em, the show he cares
maybe.
more about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull them up then on my phone.
he's going to go over them with
Interesting.
Rico.
Awesome.
Let's
Perfect.
see. Give me a second.
So
I'll read
Ebo
'em out
cares
loud.
more about Pick'em. You care more about the college football show. Interesting. So it sounds like there's only 3 of us that are.
That was my answer. Very mature.
My official statement on that is.
I think more politicians would benefit by just going with that route.
I think there's.
I brought you here today to address these allegations.
I think there's a good chance the next presidential debates,
Yeah.
this upcoming election, we will see one of the candidates just do that. Just,
You can't rule out Trump doing that.
just Trump. Trump
Trump's
and
like,
Biden are debating. and
everybody on the stage.
Biden's like, "Here's my plan to get America back on track," and Trump just goes.
and wins in a landslide.
All right, I got some.
All right.
All right, this is from. Can I raise my hand here?
Sure.
Why isn't TJ just pulling him up on the screen?
That could also work, I suppose. Actually, I don't know if you could
do
find
we have
them
that
on.
technology?
I don't know if you could pull them up on desktop.
Yeah, but on the phone you can pull them up.
Okay.
It's a weird thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll read out the names. I'll read out the names, and then what they said, and then you guys can say yes or no, and then I'll mark it down.
Okay.
So first, from dberg419.
Well, did he give a 5-star review?
Yes.
Thank you.
I would like to hear some stories about Mark's AAU time.
Yeah, we can do that. That's
could
an
put
easy
that.
thing.
All right, I'm going to write them down.
You're writing them down? Okay.
I'm going to write the good ones down and the bad ones down, but not in the same category because that'd be stupid.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to write good on the left.
Do we need to write them down if they're
Actually, I'm
right
going to
there?
write good on the right because that's where good goes. I'm going to write bad on the left.
You wanna elaborate? Good goes on the right. Would you like to elaborate?
What was it? It was Mark AAU
Mark talks
stories?
about his AAU stories, yeah.
Okay, and I assume that I would also be able to tell my AAU
You tell
story.
your AAU stories as well.
Did you have them?
Huh? We didn't have that many letters in Mississippi back then.
Brandon's
Well, we had one organization did, but okay, continue.
From Johnny Boy with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 eyes.
Did he give 5 stars?
5-star review.
Thank you.
The people would like to see the fellas rank college fight songs.
I like
there
that
you
one,
go.
too.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Okay, all right.
We could do that.
I noticed TJ pulled that one up, and I was told previously he
I
could.
figured out how to do it.
There
All
you
right,
go.
well,
I
let's
couldn't figure out how to do
just
it the
pull
other
them
day.
up, though.
Well,
All
we
right.
can't
there you
scroll
go.
through them because they're not all good comments.
Yes.
Got it, got it.
So I'll
Like
filter
this
through
one
them.
says, "Yay, Brandon is fired. Love the show. Day oneer. Titus does a great job. Nick Tarani is fantastic. Co-host."
Oh, that's
Did
a
he give
good
a
one.
5-star review?
He did.
Thank
That's
you.
that's a good. What do you mean that's not? That's a. He said I was. What did he say about me?
Need more Nicky, Clicky, and Titus.
Yeah,
5 stars.
that's a great review. More of that is fine. I think that's a great review.
Okay.
So you want me to keep going?
Yeah,
TJ,
I
we're
would
just
like
reading
for you
these.
to
Okay,
continue.
perfect. Carmelito Anthony 777 leaves a 5-star review and
Thank
says the people need to know where Carmelo ranks among the best scoring forwards of all time.
We can put that in the hat. That's easy.
I feel like why would that go in the hat?
Just
We're going to stop the show to talk about Carmelo?
All right, don't put it in. All right, then don't. Then don't.
Do you want it in the hat?
I was just saying it. No, we don't have to put. I mean, yeah, let's not do it then. Let's not
We
do
have
it.
AAU stories,
I was
college
just saying
fight
it's
songs,
easy.
and
I was just
Carmelo.
saying it's easy.
You know what? I'm putting it in the good pile. Fine. I'm putting it in the good.
I don't love the prompt per se, but I'm saying if we were to draw that,
We talk Carmelo
we
and
could
we're
just
done.
talk Carmelo and be
Okay.
done with it. Move
All
on.
right, cool.
You know.
Next up from Herab, dude off of world leaders prior to 2000, and the loser can't talk for 5 minutes.
Loser can't talk for 5 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes is a long time.
It is.
I don't even know if I want to do world leaders, but I do like a dude off.
That's what I've heard.
From Giraffe Buck 33.
Did he give a 5-star review?
Yes, he
Thank
did.
you.
He also gave 3 different topics.
Okay.
Where would you assign the 4 major sports in different military branches?
Pass.
Pass on that. I don't
Yeah.
know what that means.
How
Okay.
many points is Mark averaging in the NBA if he plays 48 minutes a game? And then how many yards a game is Brandon averaging as a running back in the NFL, and why is it minus 80?
I like that one. Let's put that one in there.
Here's the thing: minus 80 is so hard to get to. Minus 80 almost implies that I would run backwards sometimes, and I don't think I would ever even have the ability to run backwards. I don't even think I could lose that many yards.
Are we doing it now? You're supposed to put it in the head, so if we
Okay.
draw. No, don't put that one in there. Don't put that one in.
Yeah, none of those were good.
Those aren't.
If you have 3 suggestions, I've always said if you have 3 suggestions, you really don't have
You
any
don't
suggestions.
suggestions.
No.
Yeah.
From ATR 1496.
5-star review.
Yes.
Thank you.
Talk about the worst lose by the college you attended. I'm assuming that means loss.
The worst loss.
Yes.
Okay,
It's only an hour show every day. What do you want me to do?
Sure.
that's easy. Just write that down. you know?
Worst loss by your college.
I'm not trying to figure out if these are good or not
I got
good.
it.
I'm trying to figure out if these are very bad or not. You
Yeah.
know, that's how I'm approaching it. If
Yeah.
it's like not
Yeah.
bad, just throw it in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll say this one. It's very to the point. From Elephant Man 1, talk about the Los Angeles Chargers.
See, like I don't have much to say, but I like that's a funny. 3 months from now, when we draw that out of the hat, that'll be funny. You just draw it out, and it just says talk about the Los Angeles Chargers out of nowhere.
Okay. First of all, it will always be the San Diego Chargers, but continue.
Okay. From better than computer, sure. Name college basketball players that were not meant for the NBA but were perfect for college.
That is a whole show.
Can we do that one now?
We
My
could do a
nomination,
whole
Frank
show.
Kaminsky.
I could do 5 hours on that.
I mean, Jimmer Fredette, right?
So here's the issue with this is at some point you do have to name non-white guys. Because
Are you sure?
I think this is different from just name white college basketball players. I think this is
DeJuan Blair. Incredible
Yeah.
college player.
he had a pretty good
Decent.
NBA career. I mean, he
Decent.
stuck around.
Jahidi White. Okay. I want to write. Tell me that one again so I can write it down.
College basketball players that were not meant for the NBA but were perfect for college.
Yeah.
Okay.
From Big Time Movie Boy,
Jeff Delow.
talk about the grit and grind Grizzlies.
Oh yes, absolutely. I could do that forever too.
Okay.
Can't say that one.
Just someone writes a slur.
That was not far off.
It's a 5-star review with the.
Where is it? Where did it go?
What slur did they call Brandon? Is the
It
question.
actually just says
Oh,
comment
it
your
just
favorite.
We should. That is good content because I think you would agree that some slurs are worse than others. So let's power rank them. Let's do a tier ranking. You go
So
first.
this is not for today. This is for later.
You go for. Let's do a draft. You go first. I'll let you pick the first slur. What do you think's like the worst slur? Go ahead, Brandon. You go first.
Connor.
Gotcha. From Call Me Scrubby,
Okay. Scrubby.
All right.
I want Brandon to do a shot out of Titus's belly button.
We're gonna go ahead and not put that one in there.
Yeah. I don't drink. It also says Titus.
Titus is A.
His ass belly button.
Titus is A belly button.
So his asshole.
Do a shot out of my asshole.
Okay. Continue.
I'm not opposed. For the record, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to Brandon kissing my ass. No, I'm not opposed to doing some goofy shit.
Yeah.
To being a little goofy on the show.
Yeah. Silly.
Being silly. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't do goofy. We do silly. But not that. I don't want to do that. That seems sus.
Continue.
That's what I'd
Sus.
say.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. From Connor, $44. Please discuss how Adam Dunn is an all-time power hitter for at least one.
I can do that. That's easy.
I could do that as well.
Cool.
I realized as I was going, I just have.
You have none in the bad.
Yeah, because if it's bad, why even write it down?
Why write it down?
Right. So the bad side wasn't necessary. Continue.
Next one from Harmontown. Have Brandon go through unban requests. I'd love to finally be unblocked by him, especially because I haven't done anything.
You did. See, that's one of the main misconceptions. People like to say, he blocked me and I have no idea
But
why.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Everybody
why-
who got blocked, you know why.
That's
you
why
know
it would
why.
be funny if they called in because I want to hear the case. I want
Yeah.
I want people to call in and be like,
But they can't lie and say, I
yeah.
don't even know why.
They have to. If you're going to call in to get unblocked, you have to provide the tweet that led to the blocking,
There will be reasons that
and
are,
then I'll make the call.
there
And
will
I'll
be reasons
fair.
that are soft on my part, but there's a lot of people like,
Yeah.
I just called his mother a whore and,
Right.
and said I wanted to kill his kids.
That's all I
Why did he
did.
block me?
But you know, Brandon, that there are times where
Yeah.
you're just in a bad mood and someone's like,
Yeah.
"Damn, bro, Mississippi State's not that good this year," and you're like, "Block."
All
Which
the time.
They shouldn't. That's not a blocker. That's just you being a little bitch.
I never said I wasn't a little bitch. When
That's
I
what I'm
blocked
saying.
you.
So
Yeah.
I think those people deserve a second chance. They follow the show. They watch the show.
Okay.
They want.
They're
you
going to
know.
get a second chance when we get the phone calls up.
Okay,
we'll
that's
have
All
the
right.
the Thursday of the first week. We'll do unblock time.
Unblock. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. From Joey D15151515. I think I got all the 15s. What are the dumbest sports mascots?
That's a good one. That's a great one. That's a great one.
Okay.
Don't think of it now. We're just thinking. Don't talk it out now.
Can I clarify?
What?
Does he mean the dumbest concept for a sports mascot, or is he saying like the Syracuse Orange is just a stupid person?
I think he's saying the Hilltopper, the Western Kentucky.
It's just dumb.
blob
He's
of
an
red.
idiot.
Yeah.
All right.
Stanford has a tree running around. You know. I think that's what he's going for.
This one is throwing me off a little bit. It's from Vincenzo Schiacqua. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Wow, that's probably.
Well, almost certainly we weren't.
Yeah,
Did we
no,
just
I
get
know I'm
canceled, TJ?
Dudes naming dudes by
That's almost
using
certainly Siakwa or something like
Siakwa. Yeah, that's
that.
my bad.
Siakwa.
Dudes naming
Siakwa.
dudes.
Siakwa seems pretty straightforward.
All right.
Vincenzo Siakwa.
All right. Chat in the hat suggestion. Dudes naming dudes using the last first letter of their names. Mark says Michael Redd. I say Deion Sanders.
This is the Barry Bonds game, right?
That's just the game. Yeah, it's just the name game, right?
Yeah.
If you double letter it, it reverses the order.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to have to. I don't like rules in my guys naming dudes.
Yeah.
I just like to name dudes.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Michael Redd, Brandon?
That's what I'm not understanding.
Because Red ends with
It's
D,
in the
and then
last-
Deion Sanders starts with
Oh,
D.
ends with D. Got
But
it.
I always
Yeah.
thought it was the first letter of the last name.
I did too.
I
I,
thought
always
I did
played it
too,
as if I
yeah.
say Michael Red, then you say Reggie White.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red. You know.
All right.
Another naming dudes type of thing, except it's not dudes. From Joseph Crum 4, named WNBA players back and forth until someone can't anymore.
That's a good one. We are a WNBA podcast.
Yeah.
So instead of naming dudes, we're going to name broads.
No, that's a great point, Brandon. That dilutes the brand a little bit.
Naming
Guys naming dudes.
guys naming
If
broads.
we start naming women, does
Yeah.
that dilute the?
We're going to have to bring in a broad to do it. All right.
Yeah, this next one.
Real talk, and I'm not even joking. Let's say you and I named WNBA players back and forth. A minute and a half? 2 minutes? How long do you think we could just legitimately go?
I could do old school WNBA.
I think I could too.
I
I
could
could go
do-
longer than you think.
Pause.
All
you
right.
could go longer than you think in the dude off. Is that what you're saying?
Continue.
From Crazy Italian 620, 1, make Brandon Walker do 25 push-ups.
I like that.
2, make Brandon say something nice about Deion Sanders and or Ole Miss. And then 3, a TJ's Wild. Let him choose some shenanigans to force them to do.
I'm writing down
explain-
TJ's Wild and BW 25 push-ups.
Explain TJ's wild. It's just a wild card. Just
He
TJ
can just do whatever he wants. He can have an activity. He can do anything. He can
Okay.
say whatever he wants for us to do that show. Yes, TJ?
Oops, it landed on give me $5,000 cash.
Yeah, I was gonna say like what is? It's just yeah.
I'll think of something.
I've given you
TJ gets
$5,000 cash before. Was that not you?
That was
Okay.
a different TJ.
Okay.
This next one, I don't know if it's a chat in the hat. It just says, will Rutgers make the Elite Eight in 2025?
No.
TJ?
Before.
There you go.
I think put that in the hat. We don't need to put that in the hat. We don't need to put that in there. These are good.
From Cowardly Courageous Lion, conference realignment, but basketball. Name some dudes, only Marks. Name some dudes, only Brandon.
Okay.
I like naming Marks and Brandons.
And
Yeah.
then European soccer transfer rules, but American sports.
Yeah, I don't understand the soccer transfer rules,
I don't
so I'm
understand
out on that one. Conference realignment, but basketball, I'm out on that. I'm just tired of conference realignment. But I will name Marks and Brandons. Name Marks.
Okay. All right.
2 more.
2 more.
Yep.
From Floppy Socks 96,
Pete Maravich.
talk about Mick Cronin.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said 2 more. 1 more.
Talking about Mick Cronin's good.
He's
Talking about Mick Cronin's good.
Mick Cronin
he's
is-
worth talking about.
probably, as far as men I've been on the same floor with, maybe one of the shortest men I've ever.
Yeah.
Is breathtakingly short. Have you ever been in the same room with Danny DeVito?
I feel like we're supposed to talk about Mick Cronin when we draw Mick Cronin out of the hat. So if you do it now,
I didn't know Mick Cronin's name was Danny DeVito.
I've never stood next to Danny DeVito. No.
It's pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking.
Yeah.
I actually I feel like I wouldn't be shocked because I know Danny DeVito's very short.
Even though you know that, you would be shocked.
I
You don't realize how short he is. All right, continue.
So there's only 3 more, and they're
Timing
all
there was terrible.
they're all quick.
Sal just walked by.
That was
Brandon just said you. What'd you say? You don't know how short he is.
Right.
As Sal walked by.
from Rusty Shackelford 69. Whose career playing end post would you rather have, Michael Jordan or The Rock? MJ, GOAT basketball, owned NBA team, owns NASCAR team, out of public eye. The Rock can argue GOAT wrestler, XFL, and is in everything all the time.
You don't have to think about it now. You don't have to
We'll
think
talk about
it
that
now.
when we talk about it. We'll talk about that when we
it.
talk about it.
All right, that's good. We
You
got
finished?
we got enough.
There are 2 more. They're quick.
I said 2 more a second ago.
I know, but just to
right.
show some love. Best 6-man or backup QB of all time,
Like it.
and then the Earl Boykins minute.
I love Earl Boykins. I'm doing that.
why I
Best
wanted to do it.
6-man,
Or backup QB of all time.
backup QB.
I like this too.
go to a local Chicago independent wrestling event. I actually am probably just going to be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
would
I'm going to be
do
doing commentary for one of them unannounced.
that. I would do that.
Although I guess I just kind of announced
Spoiler.
it. All right, end the show.
Thank
That's
you for
the end of the
everybody
show?
for submitting.
I thought you were about to end the show.
No, I wasn't trying to. I was trying to end this segment.
Oh, I thought you were ending the show. Sorry.
I went
sorry,
on to
sorry.
the show.
My bad.
We can end the show.
I did not want to end the show. I thought you were ending the show.
No, I was just saying, reading off our 5-star. It turns into a self-suck a little bit.
That's fine, but we also do need to do the hat today.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, at a certain point, maybe move it along.
Hold on, my titties guy just DM'd me.
What?
My titties guy.
What?
I have a guy that DMs me a pair of titties every day. He missed yesterday.
Are they his titties?
No.
Were you worried?
Huh? I was worried.
Are they celebrities? Are they
Oh, just
anybody?
standard.
Just
standard
women on the
solid-
street that he's women on the bus that he's.
Just standard solid titties.
Let me see.
Every day, send me.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
I'd like to subscribe to that service. How do I? Is that part of your? What'd you say yesterday? You're like, I'll pay $5.99 for any service.
Yeah, that's
This is one of them.
it's my titties guy.
Hat cleanup. We what do we owe the people?
We don't owe him anything.
Gun range.
Gun range, deep dish pizza.
I thought
and
we were
like
throwing gun range out because it sucked.
And then
gun range did kind of.
The gun range sucks. What do you want us to do at a gun range?
Okay, so here's the thing about this stuff. It like I don't want to be a bitch about it. So like I don't want it to come across like we're not doing it because we're pussies.
Yeah.
We're
If
not.
it sucks, I mean, come on.
I just don't want to do it because it's not interesting. I don't know what's going
what
to come
could we
of
do
that.
at a gun range? You
We're gonna
almost
shoot
certainly
some guns.
You almost certainly can't like film at just a standard gun range anyway. So what are we going to be able to do?
You know what we should do is just like we should go tonight.
We are going tonight.
Come back tomorrow morning and just talk about how we did the gun
I
range.
forgot we
last
had
night.
the appointment at the gun range.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that tonight.
I need to know that you can actually wink because that. All right. You look like you've been dead for a week. Okay.
That's my Lou Holtz impression. You see that?
What?
Lou Holtz doubling down.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love the 80-year-olds are spicy right now. I want all the 80-year-olds.
I want that to be a brand on our show. Is
Yeah.
I just call 80-year-olds dumb bitches. Just anytime they start.
I got to come
talking.
with a different 80-year-old every day, so we can call them.
What was the deep dish pizza? Just like deep dish, just eat deep
Let's
dish
go eat.
pizza?
Yeah, sure.
That was
Here, like during the show.
I
Is
don't
that the
know.
idea?
I don't.
it's up to interpretation. Probably here on the show, yeah.
Bacon race was one. I
Yeah,
think.
bacon eating race.
Well, that's just pull something from the hat today. We'll judge it when now we have done hat maintenance, so most of the ones in there are good.
Yeah, we kind of got rid of.
Yeah, I got rid of a lot of bad ideas.
Some of the bad ones.
I mean, yesterday's was great, so credit to the hat. What we got here?
Cosplay as Dabo.
That has to be done.
All right, so we can either do that now, or we can get. I mean, it has to be one of us, right?
I think cosplay means costume.
You dress
play.
up.
You have
Right.
to
So
dress
you
up,
got to
so-
get. We got to get Clemson gear. We got to get all that stuff.
When the guy get the gloves.
Yeah.
The gloves.
Yeah,
Hickory
I
dickory
can't. I
dock.
can't do that now. I don't have.
We'll
Clemson
get it.
stuff, so
We'll-
we have to.
We'll
We have
get
to
it.
figure.
We're
out.
doing that. I promise you, we're doing that, and it won't be
I'll
announced.
do it. I just don't.
We're showing up one day, and you're just popping out some gloves when they least expect it.
Yeah, I have an idea of
The mouse ran up the clock.
hickory dickory dock.
Why did he say it like that?
The mouse ran up the clock.
Also, when he was starting, when he
Coach
was,
Swinning at the end. And then, you know, I like that one. I just how long is that going to take to get
oh, we should
Not
be
long.
able to get him by next week.
Yeah.
yeah, cuz I don't just want to buy a Clemson t-shirt. I got to like really study this man and figure out what is his is he a khaki guy?
Yes.
Big time khaki guy. He's a me first guy. You gotta run down the field in front of your team so far that only you get the spotlight.
We should, as we come in the door. I was just
Yeah.
I was just
You got
explaining
our
what I'm about
attention.
to. Sorry. Well, we should on Dabo Cosplay Day. We should start the show where we're not here, and we all like fight to be the first person to come through, to lead the team through the door to start the show, or the camera comes on and we all talk at the same time.
Yeah.
to open the show. All right, that might be the end of the show.
All
I
right,
think
shut
that's
her
good.
down.
Yeah, we should sign off with the phrase. That's how ball is done, right? I don't know.
You ready? And that, folks, is how ball is done.
No.
You want to do it?
What did you add folks in?
We were always doing folks.
We weren't always doing.
No,
right,
you
fine.
added folks.
You added folks. It's
All right,
okay,
sorry,
but hold on.
sorry.
Should we add folks? Because if
Well, his catchphrase
Well,
isn't.
it's versatile. It's versatile.
His catchphrase isn't that, folks, is how ball is done. That's how ball is done.
All right.
yeah, that's true.
True.
I think we can't have folks.
Ready? And that's how ball is done. Is that fine? What way do you want me to do it? what are we doing? Oh, all right.